Recipe notes for these awesome shrimp rolls. All right, so a shrimp roll might not sound like the most exciting thing to make or have for dinner, but I promise you, this recipe might change your mind. These things are so good, and they're also really simple. This is a, I don't know, 10, 11 ingredient recipe. You can pick and choose which things you actually want to use. Some things are optional, and it only takes like 15 minutes to make. So if that doesn't win you over, I don't know what will. Okay, so if you've never had a shrimp roll before, which I'm guessing some of you haven't, it's like a lobster roll, but I think way more charming because unlike lobster, you're just using shrimp, which you can buy everywhere and they're far more affordable. And honestly, the entire experience of these things is just as delicious in the same ways as lobster, but a lot easier on your wallet, which we love here at My Kitchen Little. All right, so the things that make my shrimp rolls here, I think, so good are simple, but you can't skip them. And one is we're going to use these hot dog buns, and you definitely want to toast them before you pile the shrimp inside because this kind of gives the shrimp somewhere crunchy to land and it adds texture to the whole experience. And so to do that, we're going to brush them with a garlicky, salty butter, send them into the same oven that we're roasting the shrimp in, and let them get golden brown and crunchy. The second thing of note with this recipe is the fact that we're roasting the shrimp, which I pretty much do almost every time I ever ask you to cook shrimp because I find it far superior to pan-searing or sauteing. There's all sorts of schools of thought out there when it comes to the best ways to cook shrimp, and honestly, I think it boils down to whatever you like the most, and I happen to like roasted shrimp the best. At 7 minutes and 400 degrees, large shrimp cook up perfectly every single time. And so that's what we're doing in today's recipe. We're roasting those shrimp alongside those buttery toasted buns, and then we're just going to toss the shrimp in a very simple but super flavorful dressing that is a combination of equal parts sour cream, mayonnaise, a little bit of garlic powder, lots of fresh chives, tons of freshly cracked black pepper, a little bit of salt, and a squeeze of fresh lemon juice. You stir it all together, toss the shrimp in that, and then you pile it into these buttery rolls. And there's one more thing that takes it all the way over the top. Okay, just to make these shrimp rolls extra special, I will crush and crunch up some salty kettle chips and just sprinkle them over top. You don't have to do that, honestly, but I love the texture and that extra little burst of salty crunch that the chips add. And plus, it kind of reminds me of what a shrimp roll experience might be like if you were up in New England, which I've never had that experience, but I'm trying to mimic it as best I can in my own kitchen. And the chips really help you do that. Just saying. All right, that's all my notes for today's shrimp rolls recipe. I think you guys are going to love these. They're really simple, hugely flavorful, and a little bit surprising. I don't know how often you think about whipping up a shrimp roll. I usually don't, but ever since I started making these, now they are absolutely on my regular monthly dinner rotations. They really are, and I think you guys are going to enjoy them just as much as my family does. And if you give them a try, be sure to let me know. You can reach out to me via email or on Instagram at my